Hello student, dear student, myself is Dr. S.A. Khairnar, Associate Professor in Botany and Head of the Department of Botany, MEP Samaj, SVKT College, Devadali Camp. Students, we are studying the plant families. These plant families belongs in a SYBSc semester 3rd, Botany paper 1st. The title of paper is Angiosperm Taxonomy and Plant Ecology. So we are studying the plant families for this paper. In the earlier video, we were studied the family Brassicaceae. So Brassicaceae is a family of angiosperm. Commonly, this family is also called as a mustard family, and this particular family belongs in a polypetally subclass because petals are free, and this family shows the parietal placentation. So our today's session agenda is study of family Myrtaceae. This family is what a next family in the system of Bentham and Hooker, and we are going to studying the family Myrtaceae. The session agenda for today's lecture is that we want to get understood the systematic position as per the Bentham and Hooker system of plant classification, and we also want to learn or study the salient features of this particular family, floral formula of family Myrtaceae, floral diagram of family Myrtaceae, and we want to get know or we want to get understand any 5 examples which are having a economic importance belongs to this particular family. This will be our today's lecture agenda. Why we are studying this family or this particular family? We are studying this family because we should know the systematic position of this particular family in the classification system, how this family is classified and where this family is classified, that we want to get understood. We also want to know the salient features of this particular family, because how we will going to identify the plants belongs in this particular family, and that's why we must know the salient features present in the plants of this particular family. With the help of that, we will identify or we will recognize this particular family's plants. We also want to study or learn the floral formula and floral diagram of this particular family. That will be a representative of the plants belongs to this particular family, and we will come to know what kind of floral formula possesses this particular family, or how flower of this particular family is there, and how we can represent the flower in the form of formula and in the form of diagram. And that's why we must know to learn the floral formula and floral diagram of this particular family. We also want to get know the some of the examples and their economic importance of the plants belongs in this particular family. What is the economic status of this particular family, whether this family's plants are useful as a crop, or what are their uses, that we may come to know or we may come to understand by studying the some of the example with their economic importance. Introduction to Myrtaceae. The family Myrtaceae is a plant family of aromatic plant. You can see in the image there are 2 representative plants we are seen. The first plant is one of the ornamental plant, and commonly that plant is called as a bottle brush, and another plant is a edible fruit plant, that plant commonly called as a jamun plant. So both these plants and all other plants belongs to this family are aromatic in nature, because some special kind of aromatic substances are present in the different parts of the plants of this family, and that's why this family can also be identified or recognized as a aromatic plant family, or one of the aromatic plant family in the plants of flowering group or in the angiosperm. Worldwidely, this family's plants shows the tropical and subtropical distribution. Worldwidely, there are 145 genera and 5,970 species are found or belongs to this particular family, and this shows the worldwide distribution. From this number, in India, there are about 75 genera and 3,000 species are reported that belongs to in this particular family. In the different climatic zone or bioclimatic zone of India, the plants of this particular families are found. First, we want to get understood the systematic position or classification of this particular family according to Bentham and Hooker with reason. How Bentham and Hooker classified this family in their system of classification. According to Bentham and Hooker system, this family belongs in a division phanerogams because the plants are seed bearing and flowering plants. In the subdivision angiosperm because the plants are flowering and their ovules are inside the ovary or seeds are inside the fruit. Because of these reasons, the plants kept in the subdivision angiosperms. Class dicotyledon because there are 2 cotyledons in the seed and leaves with a reticulate venation. Subclass polypetally because the flowers of the plants of this particular family shows the polypetalous condition in their corolla, and that's why this particular family is kept in the subclass polypetally. Then series calciflory because the flower having a cup shaped thalamus, ovary is inferior and calyx tube surrounding to the ovary. Because of this characteristic feature, this particular family is kept in the series calciflory. Order Myrtales because the flower of the plants of this family are epigynous, means the flower with a inferior gynoecium, and that's why this family is kept in the order Myrtale. Stamens are many in the flower, ovary syncarpous and inferior in nature, and because of these features, this particular family kept in the series, kept in the order Myrtales. Then family Myrtaceae. Why this family Myrtaceae is identified or classified? Because the plant shows the characteristic features like pentamerous epigynous flower is there in the plants, opposite alternate exstipulate leaves are there, stamens many and they are exerted in conditions, means the filament of stamens is very long and that's why they are come out from the flower or they come exerted out, and this condition is called as exerted stamens, and you will find the exerted stamens in the flower of this particular plants of this family. There is a pentacarpellary syncarpous inferior gynoecium and ovules are placed on a axial placentation, and because of these reasons or features, this particular family classified as a family Myrtaceae according to Bentham and Hooker system of plant classification. This is what a classification of the family Myrtaceae. Now we will go to a next point, that is a salient features of this particular family. Salient feature means what are the features are observed or occurs in the plants of this particular family, and because of these features we will identify the plants belongs in this family, and in the salient features we will see the characters of their root, stem, leaves, flower, androecium, gynoecium, etc. In the salient feature, first we will see the plant belongs to this family are mostly evergreen trees or shrubs in their habit. Their leaves are simple and they are exstipulated with a intramarginal vein and gland dotted. So what is mean by intramarginal vein, that we will come to soon by looking the image, but gland dotted means there are emergence, or there are insertion of the glands in the surface of leaves, and because of that gland the plants become say aromatic, or the glands are responsible to secrete or exude a aroma, and because of that this plants belongs to this family are become say aromatic. Inflorescence is intercalary spike or solitary cyme. Some of the plant shows solitary cymose kind of inflorescence, means there is a single flower is developed, that may be axillary or terminal cyme, but because of single it may called as a solitary cyme. But some of the plants shows the intercalary spike kind of inflorescence. Spike is a racemose kind of inflorescence. The flowers are bisexual but they are sessile, and they are produced in the on the axis, and later on the tip of the inflorescence is again start growing into the vegetative branch, and that's why the inflorescence is get developed in between the vegetative branches, and this is what identified as a intercalary spike. Means after development of inflorescence, the apical portion or tip of inflorescence can again goes in the vegetative manner, and that's why we can identify this kind of inflorescence as a intercalary inflorescence. The calyx present are epigynous in nature because of the inferior ori. The calyx are present on the top of the ori, and that is what a epigynous condition. They are persistent, means even after fertilization and fruit development we will observe the calyx are remain as it is, and that particular condition is called as a persistence calyx. Then petals as many as sepals. So how many sepals are there? That much petals are present. Stamens are many. Their filaments are long, and the filaments found bend in the bud condition. When you will open a bud of flower, so in that bud you will find the filaments of all stamens in a bent condition. But after blooming a flower, the filaments becomes a straight, and the stamens are become say exerted, means they come out because of the high more length they come out from the flowers, and that is what represents say exerted condition in the stamens. Then carpels may be varied. 2 to 5 carpels are occurs, that is as per the plant to plant, or that variation is as per plant to plant and species to species. Carpels are syncarpous, means all carpels are united. They are inferior in nature, means other floral parts like calyx, corolla, androecium are above the gynoecium, and that's why the gynoecium is inferior in position, and that is what a epigynous kind of flower. The ori shows the ovules are represented on the axial placentation. These are what the salient features of the plants belongs in a family Myrtaceae. The fruit may be capsule or drupe. In some of the plants the fruit is of capsule type, and in some of the plant the fruit is of berry or drupe type. You can see or you can observe the image of a leaf. That image showing the intramarginal veins. Along the side of margins there is a vein along both sides, and that vein limits the extension of the lateral veins that are originated from the midrib, and this particular kind of formation of the veins at the along the side of leaf margin can be identified or can be recognized as a intramarginal veins, and there are also numbers of glands are emerged or inserted on the leaf surfaces, and that are aromatic in nature. You can also see the another image. That image is showing the intercalary spike inflorescence. You can see behind the spike inflorescence there is a vegetative branch, and also ahead or next to pike inflorescence there is also vegetative branch, and in between these two vegetative portion the inflorescence is located. Means after development of inflorescence also the vegetative growth is becomes a continue later on, and this develops a intercalary spike kind of inflorescence. Now we will go to the next point, the floral formula and floral diagram of this particular family. I have already explained you that the floral formula is a symbolic representation in which on the basis of characters present in a plant's flower we can use this standard symbol and we can develop a formula, and that formula is nothing but a floral formula of this particular or that particular family. You can see the representative floral formula of the family Myrtaceae. Br means the flower is bracteate. The next symbol indicates the flower is actinomorphic, means symmetrical flower is there. You can cut from any side, you will get a 2 equal half. Then next symbol is for the bisexual condition, the flower is bisexual. Then calyx indicated by K, that are 5, that the 5 is in the bracket, that indicates the calyx are gamosepalous or united, they are epigynous. Then corolla petals 5, they are free. Stamens, then androecium stamens are many or indefinite. Gynoecium ranges to 2 to 5 carpels, syncarpous and inferior ori, that is indicated by the line above the gynoecium, or above line, that is a representative of the inferior gynoecium. So this is what a representative floral formula of this particular family, but there may be a more or less variation depend to plant, slight variation you may observe according to species to species. Now you can see or observe the next image. The next image is a representative of floral diagram of this particular family, representative floral diagram. This is what a diagrammatic representation of a floral flower. So you can see the outermost whorl showing the 5 sepals and they are united in condition. At the time of bud they become say twisted, means one end of each leaf or each sepal is overlapped by the another one, and because of that the twisted appearance is observed, and that is what the calyx or sepals are twisted, they are gamosepalous and their number are 5. Next to calyx whorl or sepals, there are 5 petals are present. You can see the leaves of petals are seen free, they are not united, but there are 2 petals are inside and 2 petals are outside and one is remain alternate. So this condition of the aestivation is a quincunxial kind of aestivation. So petal shows the quincunxial aestivation, means 2 petals are occurred complete internally, 2 petals are occurs complete externally, and one remaining petal is alternate. So there are 5 petals quincunxial, they are polypetalous. Next 2 petals you can see the ring of the androecium or stamens. The stamens are many and they are develops surrounding the gynoecium. So all the stamens are remain attached at the base surrounding the gynoecium. There are many numbers of stamens are there. The stamens are free. Then next to stamens there is a condition of gynoecium. The gynoecium is showing there are 3 carpels, tricarpellary. They are united, means syncarpous condition is there, and ovules are seen on a axile placentation. At the lower end there is a one leaf, that leaf is indicating the flower is bracteate, and at the top there is a mother axis from the place where the flower is emerging from the their origin. So this is what a representative floral diagram of this particular family Myrtaceae. You may also get some changes as per species to species or plant to plant, but you can study this is what a representative floral formula and floral diagram of this particular family Myrtaceae. Now we will go to the next point, economic importance with the some of the examples or plants belongs to this particular family. I have already explained you that this particular family is also identified as a family of aromatic plants. In the angiosperm there are many families which are aromatic in nature, so this is one of them. So this family is also a aromatic plant. Most of the plants belongs to this family. They are of having the presence of aromatic chemical compounds, and that's why this family got a some of economic importance. Also the some of the plants belongs to this family, they produces the edible kind of fruit, and that fruits are eaten all over the world, and because of the fruits also this family has got the some more economic importance. Also there are some medicinal importance having this family, and all because collectively this family having a good economic importance. Now we will go to the some of the examples which are commonly known or commonly available for our observation. The first very well known example is a Eucalyptus globulus. This particular plant is called as a Nilgiri plant, and we all are aware with the Nilgiri plant because this plant may also occurs widely, but some of the varieties of these plants are used for the agriculture purpose or for developing the Nilgiri forest. Even the farmers can plant the Nilgiri plantation for the for wood purpose or for raw material for the paper industry. Apart from that, the Nilgiri plants are rich in the aromatic oil compound, and that's why the parts of Nilgiri plant can also use for the extraction of the Nilgiri oil, and that Nilgiri oil has a lot of uses. That Nilgiri oil can be used as a medicine, that can be used as a used on the cup remedies, that can be used in the essence industries or food preparation, or that may also used for the fragrance industry. So these are the different uses of this particular plant. That is a very common plant and known to all of us. Also we can do the plantation of Nilgiri for maintaining the symmetry along the side of buildings, along the side of fields, or we can also use the row of Nilgiri plantation for breaking the wind or to avoid the soil erosion because of the wind along the coastal region. In our India, towards the south, there is a Nilgiri mountain ranges. The name is because of the Nilgiri plantation occurs naturally in that particular area, and that's why the hills are identified as a Nilgiri hills. The second plant is also very well known to all of us, and that second plant is botanically named as a Syzygium cumini, commonly called as a jamun plant. Everybody knows the jamun plant. It is famous for because of its fruit. This plant produces the edible kind of fruit, and the most of the varieties are occurs widely. Some of the varieties are cultivated in the farms because of their edible fruits. The fruits are eaten all over the world, and also the fruit having the good values on the medicine for reducing the sugar or for diabetic patient. The medicines are prepared from the seed of the fruit, and that powder is used to control the diabetic. So powder of jamun seed is very good for the diabetic patient for control a sugar. Now we will go to the next plant. The name of the next plant is Cydium gujava. Commonly this plant is identified as a Peru or Gawa plant. You can see in the image, picture is highlighted. There are different varieties of guava we can observe worldwide. Some of them are pink in color and they are widely cultivated because of their edible purpose. The fruit can be eaten after ripe. This fruit is good in the sugar and also rich in the pectin, and because of this pectin rich content, the pulp of fruit is used for preparation of jam, jellies, and also for the pectin extraction. And this is also one of the common aromatic plants belongs to this particular family. The next plant is Eugenia caryophyllata. This is one of the spice plant, aromatic in nature, commonly called as a clove plant, or in Marathi we can identify them as a lavang plant. The dried flower buds gives us a clove, and that clove is rich in the aromatic oil, and also that can be one of the ingredient of the spice, and it has lot of uses. It can be used in the cosmetic preparation like toothpaste. Then also clove oil is used as a remedies on the toothaches or decaying of the tooths. So this is also a very common and economically important aromatic plant, belongs to this particular family. Then the last plant is Callistemon lanceolatus. Commonly this plant is a ornamentally identified or recognized. Commonly it is called as a bottle brush plant, and this plant is used for ornamental plantation. This is also aromatic in nature, but it can be mostly planted for the their ornamental purpose. The flowers of these particular plants are very attractive or very showy. They can have a look like a brush which we use in the chemistry laboratory or in the laboratories for washing the bottle. The shape of the inflorescence is like a bottle brush, and that's why commonly this plant is identified as a bottle brush plant. And when it becomes a fully bloom, that time it gives a very attractive or aesthetic or beautiful look, and because of this reason this particular plant is identified as a ornamental plant, and it can be widely used for the ornamental plantation. You can see these are the several images from the different plants of this family, and that gives us a some of the economically important byproduct. The guava directly can be eaten after ripe or can be used for the food processing industry, confectionery industry, and juice is also obtained. Oils are extracted from the Nilgiri plant, from the clove plant, and also the jamun plant, jamun extract is available, jamun seed powder is available for the medicinal purposes. So this is what a brief idea about the economic importance or byproduct of this particular family, some of the plants. Then we will now summarize the this particular family. What are the summary, or what are the important points related to this family? As I have explained you already, the leaves are simple, exstipulate with a intramarginal veins. Inflorescence is intercalary spike in some plants or in some solitary cyme. Calyx epigynous, they remain persistent. Stamens many, indefinite, curved in bud condition. Ori inferior, fruit berry or capsule kind. These are what some of the important features of this particular family. Mostly the plants are aromatic in nature. So with view of exam purpose, what kind of questions will be asked to you on this particular family? There may be assignment for you. You can see there are some questions I have listed here. The first is give two examples of the family with their economic importance. Here you have to give any two names in botanical nomenclature way and their economic importance. So there are many common plants known to us that belongs in this family and having a good economic importance. Then describe the stamens of Myrtaceae. So stamens of Myrtaceae means there are many stamens are there. They are free. In bud conditions, their filament is bended, but when the flower is blooms, the filament is becomes a straight and they are becomes a exerted. So this is what a characteristic feature of stamens of this particular family. Then there may be a long questions we can prepare on this particular family that covers all the points related to this family. Give systematic positions means you have to give the classification according to Bentham and Hooker with reasons. Why, how and why you are classifying this family. Then distinguishing characters means some features which are very specific to this particular family. Floral formula, floral diagram, economic importance of the Myrtaceae. So this questions is what long answer type questions and includes all the points. So this is what a assignment based on this particular family. So this is what our today's family study, the family Myrtaceae. In the next lecture, what we are going to studying or which will be our next family. In the next lecture, we will going to see or study the family Rubiaceae from the angiosperm. This Rubiaceae is a gamopetalous family and the condition of petals are united and having a inferior gynoecium. So and this particular family is belongs in a rubial. So this will be our next family for the studying. Thank you.